Now, I am into many things: movies, music, history, sports. I have a particular love for the fair-skinned ladies, but that's a video for another platform. Two things I am not exactly into, however, are video games and auto racing. Just never something that I, felt particularly drawn to. So when I saw the trailers for Gran Turismo, a film based on a real-life story of a gamer who became a race car driver, I really had no interest. Even after seeing positive reviews, I figured, might catch it on a slow winter night on a streaming service. But then last Friday came around, and the boredom set in. Scrolling through the theater apps, I saw nothing that I wanted to see, or that I hadn't already seen. So it was either sit at home or see Gran Turismo, which started in about 30 minutes. So I figured, what the hell, I grabbed my keys, grabbed a large bag of Swedish fish, and headed out to see this movie that I honestly really didn't even feel like seeing. So this tells the true story of Jan Martinborough, a teenage Gran Turismo player. Gran Turismo is a successful video game on the PlayStation platform. He becomes a professional race car driver. It stars Archie Mendique as Martinborough alongside David Arbor as Jack Slater, a former professional racer turned mechanic who very reluctantly becomes Jan's instructor and teacher, and Orlando Bloom as Danny Moore, a marketing executive at Nissan who came up with the crazy idea of taking the highest scoring players of this game and turning them into real-life race car drivers. Sounds a bit silly, possibly a bit uninteresting, but here I was, sitting in the theater with my fish and my large diet lemonade, hoping that I didn't make a mistake. But as the film progressed, I found myself becoming more and more invested. And by the time I was an hour in, I was hooked. Watching the family dynamics, particularly the father-son dynamic between Jan and his father, were engrossing. Learning more about Jack and his past and what brought him to where he is now becomes very important later in the film. And seeing Danny, who starts as an executive who only cares about the bottom line, begin to actually believe in Jan and Jack is well done character development. The best performance, however, is definitely by David Arbor. He has a long list of credits, but is probably best known for playing Jim Hopper in Stranger Things. He's the heart of the film, and watching him go from cynic to a true believer in Jan, like a second father, makes for great watching. Arbor is a great actor who's beginning to approach A-list status. Director Neil Blomkamp, who has brought us District 9 and Elysium, does an excellent job of moving the story along and keeping this basic story of an underdog coached up by a has-been who didn't quite make it seem, fresh and exciting. He does a great job with the racing scenes, which are well shot, and while it follows the same tropes that we've seen before, the performances from our main cast truly elevate and complement this remarkable true story. And while it's not perfect, as it does drag a bit at times, especially in the middle, it ends strong. Now, the entire story culminates with the real-life 24-hour Le Mans race in France. You are so focused and engaged during the entire time because of the fantastic acting and great directing that you don't even notice that time's going past. Now, I've seen a lot of movies so far this year, 28 in the theaters alone, and I can honestly say that after Oppenheimer, this was my favorite. Not bad for a movie I had really no intentions of dragging my ass to the theaters to see. So I highly recommend this. Now, it's already starting to fade out of the cinemas. Where I saw it, usually my fourth choice to see movies. And it's a shame, because it really isn't going to be considered a hit. But that doesn't mean you should avoid it. Rent it as soon as you find it, and thank me later. Well, that's all for this week. Catch me again next week when I pontificate on whatever show or movie I choose. So, as always, please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment or a suggestion, or share this video with a friend. And if you didn't like it, share it with someone you don't like. Because a hate watch, well, that's still a watch for me. Finally, thank you for giving me your valuable time, and I'll see you next week. Take care.